Welcome back to Heroines. Today we're going to focus on how to draw various luxurious hairstyles using Gotham City's most notorious female criminals, the Gotham City Sirens, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman. The Batman universe is huge. It spans across comics, video games, TV shows, and movies, which all began in 1939, so the history and timelines of these characters are expansive, to say the least. To keep this from getting too confusing, let's just start with what we need to know about this trio. The Gotham City Sirens were formed by Harley Quinn's original creator, Paul Dini. In 2009, he developed the comic book series Gotham City Sirens, where Harley, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman become roommates. This happens after Ivy rescues Catwoman from a fight with the Bone Blaster, and Harley Quinn is on a period of separation from her super abusive, super famous villain boyfriend. We're going to pose all three in a medium shot, not only to showcase their iconic outfits, but to also give lots of room for their luscious locks. For this piece, we'll be focusing on three main types of hair: short and straight, big curls, and a wavy updo. Ivy's going to take the center stage here because she has the biggest hair. When you're starting, it's a good idea to lay down a sketch for the overall shape of the hairstyle you're going for. Ivy owns awesome orange curls, so we'll exaggerate this by giving her hair a dominating cloud-like shape. Next, we'll give Harley lengthy, voluminous pigtails and Catwoman a sassy pixie cut adapted from the Adam Hughes design. Poison Ivy is a genius eco-terrorist, obsessed with plants, environmentalism, and her dominance over mankind. Originally a botanist from Seattle named Dr. Pamela Lillian Isley, she was poisoned by her professor, Marc Legrand, after helping him steal ancient Egyptian herbs. Ivy not only survived the attempted murder, she became immune to all poisons and diseases. In the animated series, Ivy is depicted as having pale human skin, but in the comics she grew to become more plant-like, causing her physical body to undergo changes, and thus, green skin. Ivy is also the most seductively dangerous of the three sirens, since she can literally kill with a kiss by using a lethal toxic serum on her lips. To reflect this, we're going to illustrate her with big sexy eyes, lips, hips, and a chest all dressed in an epic plant-based getup that only she could pull off. After we've laid down the main shape of her hair, we can begin to separate it into sections by drawing different shapes. Since curly hair is interpreted with curves, Ivy's hair shape will be mostly circle-based with long S shapes to depict her big loose curls. There are a ton of types of curls and big hair types, so this is only one technique for drawing them, of course. For example, the curlier the hair, the tighter your S shapes can be. You want to carefully consider what pieces are going to be sectioned together and what will overlap. So when drawing digitally, consider putting these shapes in different layers, so you can alter them as much as you need without damaging your base shape. Illustrating hair is all about understanding shadows, midtones, and highlights because there are two dimensions we're dealing with. One, the general shadows and dimension of our subject as a whole, and two, the dimensions of the hair itself. It's best to start with a massive midtone shape, then go in with a darker color to add our shadows. A natural shadow will occur around the whole head, and then the curls will have their own shadow shapes as well. Once we're happy with our shapes, we can go in with highlights to really make it pop. As a helpful tip, remember that whatever is closest to the light will appear lightest in color. So highlights are naturally seen on the rounded areas of hair that are most exposed to light. Next up is Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel, aka
Harley Quinn, pleased to meet ya!
First appearing on TV in 1992's Batman the Animated Series, and then in comics with The Batman Adventures issue number 12 in 1993. She's a sweet little genius, trained psychiatrist, master acrobat, and fool for love. Originally working as a psychiatrist in Arkham, she becomes fascinated with inmate the Joker, and later becomes trapped in a twisted love affair that is anything but praiseworthy. While her character in the comics is largely defined by her relationship with the Joker early on, by the 2000s we start seeing her move out of his shadow and become independent with a strengthened relationship with Poison Ivy. Harley's an unnatural blonde who generally bops around in a jester costume, until her debut in the 2009 game Batman Arkham Asylum, where fans see her first official costume design with Harley in pigtails. Then in 2011 we see the two-toned dip-dyed pigtails for the first time in the sequel to Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City. Since then we see her pigtails in many of her designs, switching between black, red, green, blue, and pink styles. We're going to use her past designs as an influence in our piece to make our own unique Harley. When illustrating an updo, we're going to be dealing with the hair being pulled in different directions, with some strands being condensed in contrast to being down and flowing. We're leaving out a couple long ringlet pieces up front to frame Harley's face, and then we will pull back the rest of her hair away from her face, tightly over her skull into long flowing pigtails. This tight separation will create two different sections of flowing hair. Her long bangs will create a natural shadow over the lower parts on the tight section, and then radiating out from her hair ties, we can fan her hair pieces out. Since we're using Photoshop for this illustration, we can create a new layer and use a multiply blending mode with a gradient tool to create volume and color variation over the main blonde base. Multiply is a great blending mode for shadows, and when we're ready to move into the highlights, we'll switch to an additive layer such as screen or linear dodge. This is where we can add big strokes between the shapes of shadows and use the eraser tool to create different opacities and blend the midtones, shadows, and highlights smoothly. Finally joining this siren party is Selina Kyle, better known as Catwoman.
I am Catwoman.
The most stylish whip-wielding cat burglar around. She's been here the longest of the three ladies, originally appearing in Batman issue number 1 in the spring of 1940. She started as an orphan who learned how to get by in Gotham by thieving everything and everyone. With the longer she's been around, she's become known for bouncing between being a villain and being a hero, making her a perfect anti-hero. She's an occasional ally to Batman and also his longest-running recurring love interest. Catwoman's pixie hair is straight, therefore the easiest texture to achieve. Pixies come in many shapes and forms though. Sometimes they're straight down and just wrap around the face, but Catwoman deserves something much more wild, don't you think? We're going in with an edgy cut that best matches her feisty personality and sharp cat claws. She sports black hair and all-black fashion, but to prevent all this black from muddling together, we'll use more bluish tones in her outfit that really set her apart from the green and red hues we used with Ivy and Harley. For her hair, we'll use a more natural black, making it a warmer tone compared to her costume. Catwoman's pixie flows from the back to the front, so we want to make sure we draw her hair away from her face with that direction in mind. The Gotham City Sirens comic gives us a unique glimpse into the way villains perceive Gotham. The Sirens know it's a dog-eat-dog city, where sometimes the only way to survive is to make complicated unions with fellow criminals. Are we friends? Are we foes? I love you, but I might kill you. Sorry, it's just who we are. We can't help it, you know? Etc. So there it is, a tough piece featuring Gotham's fiercest females, both for their fighting skill and their great hair. Hair can be one of the most frustrating things to illustrate, but don't give up. Just remember, when illustrating stylized or realistic hair, start with laying down the overall shape. Then add shapes for the sections of hair and finish it off by paying attention to midtones, shadows, and highlights, by varying dark and light strokes in the direction your hair flows. Keep practicing, and you'll be as ferocious as Gotham's Sirens in no time. Thanks for watching this episode of Heroines. Let us know who your favorite anti-hero is. Are you more of an Ivy, Harley, or Catwoman? Make sure to like and subscribe to Gamma Ray across the web and check out more of our artist Mikel's art in the links below.
See you later, Puddin'.